Welcome to Business Innovators Radio, featuring industry influencers and trendsetters sharing proven strategies to help you build a better life right now.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Women's History Month, #Choose to Challenge. And today I have the awesome privilege to be here with the amazing Serena Bufalino. How are you doing, Serena?
Hello, and I'm doing great. And I just want to say thank you to you for having me on this show and being able to share some of my struggles and some of my excellence with you and your audience. So it's a big privilege for me to be here. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, to our audience, I'm Luana Bradford, visionary and co-founder of Celebrate You, Women Embracing Wellness. And this isn't about me, so I'm going to step aside and allow greatness to take the stage here. Serena, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and what's happening in your world and with Help Heal Humanity?
All right. Thank you. Yes, my name is Serena Bufalino, and I am the CEO of this charity called Help Heal Humanity. Help Heal Humanity is primarily a charity that focuses on providing education to some of the most at-risk, vulnerable youth on our planet today. And the ways in which we do that is basically using all humanity, because every single person, I believe, in this world is born with a gift and a talent. And what we ask is that for people to tap inside of themselves and to use the gifts that have been given to them to be able to give back and help others. So we do that through various pillars such as yoga for humanity, education for humanity, travel for humanity, meals for humanity, feeding humanity. There's actually 10 different pillars, business for humanity. So basically, no matter who you are, you can go to our website and you can see what calls to you. So if you're a business leader, or if you're sports or athletes, or if you're an artist, if you're, a yogi, if you love to travel, basically whoever you are, there's something on there for you, in the hopes that you will donate that back. And together we use that to heal the world.
And you are at helphealhumanity.org?
Helphealhumanity.org, yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I love the work that you're doing. And when we think about all the efforts of women around the world, whether it's in corporate, whether it's in our business, charity, or just staying within our community and being working mothers or at-home mothers, what goes through your mind when you think about now this whole global focus on celebrating women in Women's History Month? What does that mean to you?
For me, it's almost like a catch-22 in a sense that I do see that there's been a significant amount of growth in terms of women's rights and women's voices and standing up for what we believe in and having a place in the world. But because I also work in such developing countries and such places, it's still a constant struggle. It's still a constant fight. And I mean, not only is it here in North America, but I mean, all over the world. Some of the places that I work in are predominantly male orientated, right? And just being a female working in these countries, a lot of the males don't even enjoy working with me, or they want to speak to somebody else. They don't even want to speak with me because I'm a woman. And and so I feel it locally in terms of raising the bar, not only for women, but especially for at-risk women and women of various cultures and diversities who don't have a voice, and then extending that internationally, worldwide, even, for example, with our Sports for Humanity campaign, different places around the world, we know that, a soccer ball or a football can change a kid's life, right? Especially when they have nothing. And none of these sports teams are offered to the females, right? So now Help Heal Humanity is specifically trying to focus on empowering females and young youth by also giving them the sports, also giving them the same opportunities that the boys have, because in these countries, the girls still are not seen or heard as humans, and they don't get to play on the teams, or they don't get to go to the school. So, at Help Heal Humanity, we particularly pay attention to the injustices, especially females, and try to always have more females than males and try to provide our services to the young women so that they actually get the opportunities and equal opportunities. So for me, it's exceptionally important to raise the bar for everyone, but especially females, because I do believe we are the visionaries, the game changers. We have the hearts, we have the power, we have the soul, we have the determination, and we strive above. And I feel like it's that kind of power with that kind of heart that can literally change the world. So we need to pave the way for all of our females and really reflect on all the females who got us here as well. So I think it's a combination of both. And when you see the history, it's a sad reality, but slowly we continue to rise and rise and rise and rise. And hopefully we just continue to take over.
I love that. And, when you think about those of us who live in Western cultures, we can be a little clouded or in a bubble. But it's individuals like you and others who are going to these other countries, and now you're our lens to reflect back to us some of the truths and the struggles that are out there. As you said, when there's an opportunity for education in many countries, that choice is given first to the male child, right? Always
to the boys in the education, in the sports, in the business, in community, and that's what I mean sometimes when I think about the challenges. And I'm not saying that there isn't challenges here in the Western world, but some of the biggest things I've ever gone through in my life happen to be dealing with various cultural, and it's not so much the culture and measuring up to the culture. It's dealing with the men sometimes in those cultures. Like I've literally been put in the corner. I've literally been, no, we're not talking to you. And like, I'm the only one there on behalf of the charity representing a project. And it's like, no, we need to talk. Like that's the only way it's going to go. And again, I believe integrity is everything, and Help Heal Humanity takes 100% responsibility for the funds that are coming into us. So we're not just sending them to our project partners or our collaborators. We are actually on the ground overseeing those dollars. And a lot of the people in the third world countries do not like that kind of control of the project and the money and the resources, and then a female kind of taking that control. To them, it's disrespectful. And I'm seeing as disrespecting them in their culture in front of their people, because I'm trying to represent the charity and humanity, having nothing to do with sexism, right? So right. A lot of the lines can get blurred just based on that, to this day, often.
Wow. It's amazing. Like I said, we can be in our little bubble, our head in the sand, not realizing that the struggles and challenges that are out there. And it's individuals like you that, we honor you and appreciate you being a voice and being an advocate to bring about change where there may not otherwise be change.
Yeah.
So let's talk about hashtag Choose to Challenge, which is the global mantra right now around the world. What does that mean to you when you hear Choose to Challenge?
Choose to Challenge. That to me is every day. I believe every single day, minute is somewhat of a challenge, especially depending on where you live. And if you haven't created the correct mental health to understand that challenges are actually stepping stones to the right direction, I feel like you're never really going to succeed or get it. Because for me, challenges and mistakes are I feel like they're the only way that I learn, right? I don't know that I'm doing something wrong until I do it wrong and it becomes a challenge. And in my challenges is usually when I find my greatest strengths, because I know that even when it's wrong or incorrect, all it is moving me in the direction of what is right and how to correct that. So I feel like, me personally, I thrive off a challenge, and a challenge to me is like, I think it's great because it's still a success. And I think I didn't always think that way, right? It was the years of actually overcoming challenges and realizing that I'm a lot stronger than my mind. And as soon as I realized that I could start to overcome these difficulties or these fears that I didn't even want to overcome, but I had to be faced with the challenge and take it on, that I continuously grew stronger and stronger and more resilient. And I believe that challenges are our greatest lessons. And I think they're a great big yes.
I love that. And so many people, men and women, they to avoid the challenge. They become challenge averse. But as you said, through that challenge, you really are able to discover who you truly are, what you're actually made of. And it takes you from maybe this limited mindset to a more expansive mindset, because now you realize, whoa, if I accomplish this, what more can I do? Right.
And that's it. And that's why I'd love to run, empowerment programs or motivational programs or do motivational speaking, because I think I wish I was taught at a very young age that that's just a part of life. You have to understand that struggles and challenges are a part of life, and that somebody has to also teach you and give you the tools and the resources to be able to overcome that. Because once you become equipped, then the sky's the limit. But realizing and being educated in how to overcome the struggles and the challenges is the difficult part. And, another one of my big goals in life and or for HHH is equipping youth and or people with those types of tools and resources to succeed in challenging times. Because it's exactly as the challenge says, choose to challenge. It's always a choice, right? Everything is a choice, and how you take on that challenge is completely up to you.
I love that. So let's talk about one of the biggest challenges that have been out there for any democratic nation, and that was the challenge that women went through to demand and fight for the right to vote. And here in the U.S., we're in our 101st year anniversary, and the National Association of Women wanted to continue into 2021 because of the pandemic. It wasn't so much spotlighted. So they really wanted to use this year to fuel the recognition of how important a woman's voice is in advocating for change. Yeah. And when you think about the right to vote, and that being an extension of our voice, what does it mean to you, and what does it mean in the work that you do every single day?
Oh, it's essential. I mean, to even think that there was a point in time where women couldn't vote, it absolutely breaks my heart. Like, who wants to live in a world where we're not being seen or heard, right? So the fact that we've gotten here, I think, is an absolute gift. And I think that every single woman should honor that and realize, I guess it's these little small acts. Going to vote, it's an act that can literally shift the world. And when enough of us are attending the voting polls and enough of us are recognizing that we matter and that we have a voice, and that's what it takes. It's a powerful movement in which, if we all come together to realize that we can rise above and we can use this voice can literally change the world. And I think so many people sometimes are stuck in the fact that say, oh, I can't do nothing, or my voice doesn't matter, or I'm just one person. But if everybody thought that way, it would be such a sad world. And through my own personal efforts, I never in a million years thought that I would be able to be part of a charity. And what a unique gift about our charity is we are 100% volunteer based. So nobody's getting paid to be here. And that is everybody's small works and everybody's small action is amounting to providing schools, providing nourishment, providing, education. And if it isn't for everybody, just do a little bit. Like, you're not even asking to do a lot, just do a little bit. Use your voting right and your power that so many people take for granted, and go and use that, because that is what's going to change the world. And you matter, and your voice matters, and your vote matters. So, that little act literally can change the world. And so we hope that, maybe voting should become a national holiday. If you vote, you get the day off. I'm not sure, but I hope that more people recognize how much of a gift it is for us to be able to use our voice. And that's what it is using our voices and standing up for unity and just coming together as one without really expecting anything back except for being good people and trying to build a good country for not only ourselves, but for our future children, right? And that's the only way we're going to do that.
And so many people, when we were looking at, casting our ballot, when we don't educate ourselves on what's attached to that ticket, we don't know how our vote may end up impacting. Like so many of the votes here in the U.S., there are things that are on that impact international countries.
Yeah.
Especially women's right to, whether it's for contraceptive and other care, it's tied to our laws here. And, if we are not educated, then we can end up cutting something that's going to have just horrific impacts in other nations. So,
and that is key. That's the education piece, in even knowing what you're voting for, the consequences of your votes, what they mean, who the different people are, what they stand for. I think these should be taught in school come election time. So, people even at a young age start to realize this is an important thing and get excited about when they're able to do that, like it's an exciting day. You think about our ancestors when they finally did have the vote, the right to vote. They dressed up in their best suits and they walked in miles and miles to go to voting polls.
Yes.
Say that they could do this and that this was something that it was such a gift that was given to them and they didn't want to miss that opportunity. And again, that's an opportunity that many of us take for granted, but going to the polls and having that voice is something people fought so much for in our lifetime. And so we need to be able to continue that and stand up for that and continue to pave the way. So yeah, voting is important for sure. Yeah.
Now, this is my favorite part of our conversation, and that's where I turn it over to you to tell us about the woman who most influenced and impacted you in your life and whose voice still rings in your ears today. That,
without a doubt, is my mom. My mom, for me, was and is, she's passed now, the greatest role model I ever had. She was the person who taught me that under any kind of struggle, any type of challenge, that, you can do it. You can do it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter how difficult it is. It doesn't matter who's telling you can't do it. You have to find the strength within yourself and you have to do it and you can do it. And, I saw my mom approach so many challenges with love. And I think that's what made me who I am was, I never saw her fall to the ground. I never saw her give up. I never saw any obstacle too difficult, but I never saw her handle any obstacle with anger. It was always with love. And even when people were doing things that were not really okay, she was like, it's okay. It's okay. We have to be better than them. And she was always that bright light. She was always that firecracker. She was always, the sunshine in the rain. And without a doubt, she was the one who taught me how to be loving, even when I didn't want to be, and there were times where, situations in the family and or outside in the world hurt me and upset me. And she would always just, hold me and tell me everything was going to be okay. And sometimes that's the way the world is, but you got to be strong and you still have to smile and you still have to show love even when it hurts. So for me, she taught me everything. And the other biggest obstacle in my life, I remember, because I do travel to some of the most dangerous places in the world, and I do sometimes put my life at risk willingly for sure, because often people have tried to stop me and I'm like, there's no stopping me. And she would always say to me that, to go and do it, to go and do it with love. And people would always say, like, aren't you scared? Aren't you scared? And I'm like, no, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. And when people would ask me, what are you scared of? I'd always say my biggest fear would be losing my mom, because she was my light, my cheerleader, my everything. And when she was diagnosed, and it was within 3 months that she died. So it was very sudden. It was a sudden, like, she was never ill. And then she immediately died. And, obviously I was with her every single day of that process. And I thought to myself, that's when I actually quit all my paying jobs and all my career to start the charity, because I realized life is short. You never know what's going to happen. And that in this limited time that we have on earth, it's not so much about the money or the fame, but it's about the impact. And that's when I said, I really have nothing to lose anymore. If I can overcome that, which was for sure the hardest thing I've ever overcome in my life, then I can do anything. And I'd rather die trying, knowing that I made an impact to the world, than just stay in the job that I'm excelling in. Right. So it was having the courage to step outside myself and allow my soul to guide me into doing this charity and not be motivated by anything other than giving. And that was taught by my mom. So that's my number one, my light.
That's such a beautiful story. And, like you said, even though your mom is no longer here physically, I mean, you're an extension of her love and just everything that she taught you, and how to navigate through the world and how to make an impact on the world. I mean, she still lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt, I'm a reflection of both the mom and dad, and I took the good in them and what they taught me and try to radiate that in the world. And so that's what I mean. Like it took a lot of struggles and a lot of challenges for me to get to where I am today. And I know that there's going to be so many more, but just knowing that I can take them all on and do it with love, I feel like I'm equipped for anything. And I truly believe when it's your time to go, it's your time to go. So whether it's here in Canada and Haiti and Africa, Jamaica, wherever it may be, I just feel like every day use it to the best of your potential.
I love that. That's so beautiful. So you've given us a lot of gold nuggets, a lot of things to think about. What lasting word would you like to leave with our listening audience?
That really, truly, I believe, especially when you're lost and you're hurt and you're broken, that really being of service, to step outside yourself and allow yourself to be moved for the greater good of others, is really a gift that most people don't realize, because in helping others, you will really, really come to see that you are helping yourself. And when you help yourself, you begin to transform the world. And so get outside your comfort zone, get out into the world, see what is happening, do good things for other people, and allow yourself to be used for the greater good of others.
I love that. It's so beautiful. So now, how can people, again, I know you told us at the beginning, but how can people follow Help Heal Humanity,
give
to Help Heal Humanity, support Help Heal Humanity with their talents?
Yes, there's so many different ways. And I'd say the number one thing would be to go and visit our website, which is helphealhumanity.org. You can also send us an email at info@helphealhumanity.org. And whether it's donating, again, your gifts, your talents, your resources, donating, used clothing, gently used clothing that we can put them in the hands of somebody else. If you are a business and you want to collaborate, if you want us to be a charity of choice, I'd say fully let's work together. My biggest thing is, if you're willing, is to let's do a collaboration together, and then you come with Help Heal Humanity and see why we do what we do. Because I truly believe in the experience of coming on a service trip or feeding the homeless or doing one of our activities. It's that experience that is going to light you up and make you feel good, and it causes that feel good feeling. So let's collaborate, let's connect, let's do something great together. Not only heal ourselves, but heal the world.
I love that. Thank you so very much, Serena, for being a part of this series. I always love talking to you and hearing about Help Heal Humanity. I just wish you continued success and blessings in the outreach that you're doing around the world.
Well, and like I said, it's people like you who make such a difference in charities like ours. And I really appreciate you. I feel completely honored to be one of the women in this series. And I continue to hope that we can inspire others. So thank you.
Thank you. And to those who are watching, ladies, as we always say, love yourself, embrace yourself, and whatever you do, always, always celebrate you.
Yes.
Until next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Business Innovators Radio. To hear all episodes featuring leading industry influencers and trendsetters, visit us online at businessinnovatorsradio.com today.